years ago, it wasn't really acceptable for, say, a Native American to be, kind of in love with a French woman, even though it happened all the time. But as it says in the story, the Métis, or the half Native and half Europeans, had a very difficult time. And Australia was the same story. You heard it over and over again. The Aboriginals and the white people and the mixed race children that came out of it had terrible lives. They would kidnap them and take them and put them in colonies by themselves because they didn't want the rest of the population to kind of get mixed, because that was not a good thing. So I remember being in Australia, and that was still a recurring thing, that these stolen generation of kids were growing up and didn't know their culture, didn't know their parents. It was really not a happy scene. And I remember just in the work I did in the cultural sector that was a very important. That was a very important kind of theme to talk through. And so I wanted to be able to write about a story that made people think about that. Like, it's not so obvious that you fall in love with someone and hey, you got married and everything was happy and happy-go-lucky. It wasn't. It was really hard for a lot of people, and you really had to love someone a lot to put up with that. And so the story, kind of begins with Bernard, and then it goes. You find out who the ancestors are that are in this guitar. And they're this Native American and a French woman who, unfortunately, thought that their love was enough, but when they found out, well, not everybody's happy with that. So that's one story. And then going back further in time, this French woman, her mother, and what she went through, and that's another story. I won't give away, but it's it's very passionate, but it was an opportunity to just go back and visit some beautiful landscapes, because I really enjoyed writing them and just writing about the love.
Yes, I definitely want to ask you about the geography of it, because you are a world traveler. But you've said a couple of times that these are very passionate romances. Yes. And I can tell you that, yes, keep a towel or a fan or something close by. Very, very elegant, but hot. Okay. Let's just put it out there.
I have to admit, I've talked to a lot of publishers and writers and reviewers, and they're like, unless it's going to draw people in and read your book, don't even start. So I thought, it is about love, it's about generations, it's about family, and I hate to admit it, but there's sex involved.
There's nothing wrong with sex.
There is absolutely nothing wrong with it, but I try to keep it so that, it really evokes a mood, a passion, a feeling of, intense desire. And the desire is okay, but that's what procreation's about. You got to have that spark, otherwise just go home.